How much should you be charging for your product or service? Well, you might be surprised by what I'm about to share with you. Hey guys, how's it going? Uriel Kame here, founder of Healthpreneur, and in this video I'm going to share with you some interesting ideas to think about how you can price your offerings, whether that's personal training, online or offline, whether you're an online entrepreneur who's building out products and services that you're selling through the interwebs. That's what I call the internet, just in case you're wondering. And I'm going to give you an interesting perspective here because there's a lot of different opinions and discussions on pricing, but here I'm going to give you something that perhaps you've never heard of, okay? Now, typically, if you've taken an economics course, you have obviously been led to believe that pricing is determined by supply and demand. So as supply goes down, right, demand goes up, or the price increases as supply goes down, or the price increases as demand goes up as well. And that's a typical economic model which is based in scarcity. There's only so much gold, so if there's not as much of it, we have to charge a lot of money for it. Okay? Whereas if there's a lot of wood, well, it's not as expensive. The problem though is that that's one way of looking at the world, but really we live in a world of abundance where we can create value out of thin air. And that's what entrepreneurs do, is we have an idea and we create something. If you've ever written a book, well, guess what? That book never existed. It was an idea in your head. I've written 3 published books. Those were ideas in my head, and they've added value to the marketplace and income into my life. That's awesome, right? That's the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur. So what I want to share with you here is just an interesting way of looking at pricing, okay? And again, it doesn't matter what you're offering. This could be an ebook, it could be a high-end service, whatever it is. We got one end where we have low price, and over here, let's call this high price. Okay, so let's look at a couple analogies here. First and foremost, we can look at what is the market willing to bear. So what are people currently paying for a similar type of product or service? Now you can do some basic market research, right? You can check out your competitors, you can go to Amazon, look at what products and supplements are selling for if that's where you're selling. And you can say, okay, well, this supplement is selling for 20 bucks, therefore my supplement, which is kind of the same thing, will sell for 20 bucks as well. I'm gonna make an argument though. That's a very poor way of deciding on price because there is no competitive advantage to being in the middle. There is no competitive advantage to being in the middle of the pack when it comes to pricing. You're either the least expensive or the most expensive. Don't play in the middle because this is where everyone else is. And this is where you're literally, it's like you're on a busy subway. You're trying to like push everyone out of your way to get out the door. That's kind of what this is like in the marketplace. If everyone, I'll give you a perfect example from the online fitness space, everyone is selling ebooks now for $10. Everyone, doesn't matter what it is, workout, diet, blah, 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 10 bucks. Guess what? Everyone's doing that. So how do you make yours stand out? Well, you have to really be a very smart marketer, positioning wise, copy wise, storytelling wise. It's very tough because my friend Dean Jackson, one of the smartest marketers you'll ever meet, says it's a lot easier to make a compelling offer than a convincing argument. When you're selling stuff in the middle of the pack here, you're trying to make convincing arguments as opposed to a compelling offer because everyone else is making the same offer. So let's look at the example here of a car. So let's on the one side, and again, I'm making no judgments if you own this car, but let's just say on the low end we have a Kia, okay, which is actually a really good car. But let's just say that it's the low end of the scale price-wise. And over here we have Rolls-Royce. So Rolls-Royce we know sells for $200,000 plus. It's basically the same car as the BMW 740, but it's Rolls-Royce. So they add another $100,000 to it because of the name Rolls-Royce. Kia, let's just call this a $30,000 car, okay? I don't know the exact price, but let's just call it $30,000, maybe it's less. And let's just put this at $200,000. So why is a Rolls-Royce $200,000? Is it 170,000 times or dollars more valuable than a Kia? Well, that's really in the eye of the beholder. But the real thing to understand here is that when you're pricing stuff at a premium, what you're offering here is intrinsic and perceived value. So Rolls-Royce, again, as I mentioned, if we just, I'll just erase this here. So a Rolls Royce has it's the same car as the BMW 740. It's the same car, but the Rolls Royce is about $100,000 to $100,000 more than this car. Well, why is that? It's the same intrinsic value, the same cars, the same engine, the same chassis, all that stuff. But Rolls Royce, because of the name, has said, we are premium, we're exclusive. There's a higher perceived value in the marketplace based on the fact that they've always positioned themselves as the most expensive. You can look at Aston Martin, which is the same thing. A little while ago, I was on a race car track and I was driving Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Aston Martins, Audi R8s. It was amazing. The Aston Martin was the most expensive car there, $350,000. Insane, right? It's more expensive than some people's homes. And compare that to the Ferrari, which may have been about $200,000 and some odd thousand. Was it that much better than the Ferrari? No, it was actually my least favorite car that I was driving around the track. But because Aston Martin is perceived in the marketplace as the most prestigious sports car, that was their pricing model. So basically what I'm getting at here is that go with the lowest or the highest. Set yourself up in the marketplace as the Walmart or the Neiman Marcus, the Kia or the Rolls Royce, okay? What that's gonna do is if you're pricing yourself down here, you're going to eliminate and repel the people that are interested in this stuff. And that's fine if that's the market you wanna go after. If you wanna go premium price, hey, guess what? A lot of people are not gonna be able to afford you and you're gonna eliminate all of those people. And that's cool as well. Because here's the thing, the reason people don't charge more for their services or products comes down to this one word, which is actually maybe two words, is this. Self-worth. Now this, there's, we can go into a whole Tony Robbins personal development seance on this, but if you don't believe you are more valuable, then you're not gonna charge higher prices. It's really as simple as that. And what's interesting is that when I see people have, they start off in their business and they're like, okay, I'm gonna charge, like $97 for this 6-week course. That's kind of like where they start off. But as they start getting more successes and people going through their programs are like, hold on, this is actually really valuable. I'm gonna increase the price to like $497. So what ends up happening is they actually use external successes to validate themselves or validate the product or service that they're offering. So they're using external rewards or external successes of their clients to increase their own self-worth. So what I'm going to suggest to you here is do your own work. Do your work personally. All business growth starts with personal growth. If you want to charge higher prices, work on yourself. Work on the reasons that you don't believe that you can charge this, that you're not good enough, that there's the imposter syndrome, like who am I to charge these type of prices, right? Work on yourself, the prices will take care of themselves. Because again, there's no value in playing in the middle. Here's the other cool thing about charging higher prices, is that I'm gonna give you two reasons. First of all, you tend to get better customers. Better customers, less problems. And if you've experienced this, you know what I mean. I'll give you an example. When I first started my online business, we had a running program that was $14.95. We had a lady buy it from New York. And then she sent us an email saying that she wanted us to send her the difference in the exchange rate between the Canadian and US dollar of $1.46 by check. Immediately, I said, fire this customer. We are operating in this realm over here. We're dealing with people who are a pain in the ass, pardon my language. And that's what you're gonna get. Not all the time, but more of it in this lower end of the pricing spectrum, okay? So if you go higher price, you're gonna have better quality clients. People are gonna be less pain in the butt. I've seen this time and time again. The second reason that it's actually really good to increase your prices is because it is the same amount of work to sell something that's $1,000 versus $10. It's the same amount of work to put into the funnel, to the messaging, to the offer, all that stuff. But the third thing, and the real valuable part for you and your customer, is that it forces you to deliver immense value more so than if it was a $10 offer. Let's use an example here. So let's say in our business, my health business, we have a Defeating Diabetes Kit, which is a great program, helps people overcome their diabetes. It's $37, okay? So we're operating on the low end of the spectrum here. Now, I've been challenged in the past by some of my mentors to be like, listen, what if this were what would this have to be to become a $3,000 program? What would this program have to become? What would it have to deliver to your customers in order for them to validate paying $3,000? Maybe that's literally showing up at their house and walking with them every morning. Maybe that's going through their pantry, like whatever it is. But the whole idea here is that when you charge premium prices, it forces you to think about how you can become a better provider of a solution. There are always going to be people who just want to read the ebook. That's cool, right? But maybe you don't want to deal with those customers. Maybe you rather have fewer customers who are paying more money who you can actually deliver real results for. Because we know that 90% of these people are not going to take action. They're not. And I'm not saying this is, anything against diabetics. I'm saying this is human nature. You survey your audience, and I guarantee you'll find the same things. What's the number one challenge standing in the way of your goals? Motivation. I don't have time. I don't know how to get started. That's all happening. That's always happening here, right? So what if you can offer a service that helps overcome all of those things? It's a premium price. It's not going to be applicable to 95% of the people that you are in your market, but there's going to be 5% of people who will be like, yes, I want that. I want that personal touch. I want that higher level of service. I want that person to show up at my door in the morning to drag me out of bed and get me going. So that's what happens when you charge higher premium prices. Not only do you get better customers, but you force yourself to become a better provider of the service or value, which ultimately leads to better results for your customers. Okay? So, are you worth it? I believe you are, but you have to work on that. Okay? Don't let pricing determine how you view yourself in the world. Low or high, you determine, but don't go in the middle. Don't go in here. Go low or high, and that's it. And this is something that we have to reevaluate in some of our products in our business as well. But if you provide yourself, again, as the premium, you're going to attract those premium customers. In our healthpreneur business, we have some very high-level workshops that are small, intimate, and exclusive. And guess what? Probably not right for you, right? They're probably not right for the vast majority of people in our space, but you know what? I'm only looking for 10 to 20 of those people who are willing to invest, work with me personally, and really skyrocket their business to the next level. Everyone else, we have other things that are more suitable for them. But that's the way I've decided to position our business and our products and our services in this marketplace, because I know that when I can work at a higher level with a smaller number of people, that's where I can create real change. So there you have it. I hope this video has found you well. If you find this helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with somebody who's kind of struggling with pricing. And this is, again, it's a paradigm shift. It's a different way of looking at pricing based on a decision, right? It's not market centric. It's literally your decision to be like, I'm just going to price this 10 times higher. Here's another challenge for you, okay? So I want you to do this. If you have, let's say you have clients that you serve online, so coaching, training clients, whatever. And right now, you charge $100 per hour. Okay, so you jump on Skype with them, you spend an hour talking with them for $100. I'm going to challenge you. I want you to do this. I want you to add a 0 to whatever it is you're currently charging. So now you're charging $1,000 per hour. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel in your gut, viscerally? Does that scare you? Does that excite you? Does that challenge you? Well, whatever it is, I challenge you to go there and just kind of be there for a second. And again, ask yourself, who do I have to become to deliver and command that type of price? Because it's not about the doingness, it's about the who, right? The famous saying, be, do, have. To do the level of service at the $1,000 an hour, you have to become a certain person first, a certain type of person who is able to do the things to create these results at that level. So just a quick exercise to finish off with. Add a 0 to what you're currently charging, even if it's a product, and ask, who do I have to become to own that, to be completely comfortable with that? And what is that going to look like in terms of the doingness, in terms of the results I'm able to produce for people? It's a great exercise. It's gonna get you out of your comfort zone, and I guarantee it'll create some big breakthroughs in your business. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything from our upcoming Healthpreneur videos. And if you want to take your online health or fitness business to the next level, then be sure to join us over at healthpreneurgroup.com. Tons of great tools, free resources, and tons of awesome stuff to help you take your business to the level you deserve to be at. So until then, enjoy this, share it, and I'll see you in our next video.